$100 billion just vanished from your wallet. Your prescription costs $300, the drug costs $50. Someone pocketed the difference, and you never saw their face. What if the company lowering your drug costs is why they're high? May 18th, 2026, the Federal Trade Commission files a lawsuit that changes everything. 3 companies, 80% of every prescription filled in America, and a business model built on charging you more. They're called pharmacy benefit managers. You've never heard of them, but they've been billing you for years. CVS, Caremark, Express Scripts, OptumRx, the invisible middlemen between you and your pills. They don't make your medicine. They don't deliver it. They just take their cut. 1987, pharmacy benefit managers are invented. The promise? Lower your drug costs through negotiation power. Insurance companies loved the idea. Outsource the messy work of negotiating with drug manufacturers. Let someone else handle it. PBMs would negotiate rebates. Pass savings to patients. Everyone wins. That was the story they sold. By 2010, PBMs processed over 4 billion prescriptions a year. Quietly, invisibly, efficiently. Then something shifted. The rebates they negotiated started staying in their pockets instead of yours. CVS buys Caremark for $26 billion. A pharmacy chain now controls the middleman deciding which drugs you can afford. United Health buys OptumRx. Your insurer now owns the company, setting your drug prices. See the problem? Express Scripts becomes a $15 billion giant. All 3 now control the entire supply chain from manufacturer to your medicine cabinet. They called it vertical integration. Economists called it a conflict of interest. You just called it expensive. The pitch to employers and insurers was simple. Hire us. We'll lower your drug spending. Trust us. And it worked. On paper, corporate drug spending went down because they passed the cost to you. Higher deductibles, higher co-pays, higher out-of-pocket maximums. The bill didn't disappear. It just moved to your wallet. 2015, a diabetic woman in Ohio pays $312 for insulin. The manufacturer's price? $28. Where did the other $284 go? She asked her pharmacist. He had no idea. The answer was buried in a line item most people never read. PBM administrative fee, $287. Not a typo, not a mistake, the fee was 10 times the cost of the actual drug. Doctors started noticing. Prescriptions they'd written for decades suddenly became unaffordable. Patients stopping medication, rationing pills. A reporter at Bloomberg dug into the numbers. PBMs were negotiating rebates with drug makers, then keeping 70%. The rebate was supposed to lower your cost. Instead, it became their profit. And you paid full price. Here's how it worked. Drug company charges $300. PBM negotiates a $90 rebate. You still pay $300. PBM keeps $63 of that rebate. Insurer gets $27. You get a bill for $300. Federal investigators called it a perverse incentive. The higher the drug price, the bigger the rebate, the bigger their cut. So PBMs had zero reason to lower drug prices. High prices meant high rebates, meant higher profits. You were the product. State attorneys general started asking questions. Ohio, California, Arkansas. Why are patients paying more while PBMs report record earnings? Express Scripts posted $2.1 billion in revenue from fees alone, not from selling drugs, from standing in the way. A congressional hearing in 2022. Senators demanded answers. PBM executives showed up and pleaded the Fifth Amendment. Insulin prices tripled between 2012 and 2022. PBM rebates also tripled. Patients paid the difference. Families were choosing between insulin and rent, between medication and food. While 3 companies posted $40 billion in combined annual profit, pharmacies started going out of business. Independent drugstores couldn't survive the reimbursement rates PBMs dictated. Only chains remained. The Government Accountability Office released a report. PBMs were inflating costs and providing no measurable value to patients. Whistleblowers came forward. Former PBM employees described internal quotas. Reject cheaper generics. push expensive brands, maximize rebate income. One leaked document showed the formula. For every $10 drug price increase, PBMs earned $3.50 in additional fees. May 18th, 2026. The Federal Trade Commission says enough and files a landmark lawsuit. The allegation? The big three PBMs artificially inflated drug prices to pocket over $100 billion in excess fees. $100 billion. That's not revenue. That's money the FTC says was extracted from patients through fraudulent pricing schemes. The complaint names all three: CVS Caremark, Express Scripts, OptumRx, each accused of antitrust violations and consumer harm. FTC investigators found internal emails. Executives celebrating drug price increases, literally cheering when insulin costs went up, because their fees did too. They cheered when your medicine got more expensive. The lawsuit details a scheme called spread pricing. PBM charges your insurer $300, pays the pharmacy $200, pockets $100. Pure profit. Multiply that by 4 billion prescriptions a year. That's $400 billion flowing through PBMs annually with zero transparency. The FTC found PBMs were steering patients away from cheaper pharmacies. Why? They own the expensive ones. More profit. Your insurance would deny coverage at an independent pharmacy, then approve it at CVS, because CVS owns the PBM denying you. The conflict of interest wasn't theoretical, it was the entire business model. Patients with cancer, heart disease, diabetes, forced to choose PBM-owned pharmacies or pay full price out of pocket. The lawsuit cites internal profit targets. Each PBM executive had bonuses tied to fee revenue growth, not patient outcomes. Revenue. OptumRx internal documents showed deliberate rejection of lower-cost generics. Reason listed? Insufficient rebate opportunity. Translation? Not profitable enough for them. State Medicaid programs were being overcharged by hundreds of millions. Taxpayer money funneled into PBM profit margins. One Arkansas audit found PBMs charged Medicaid 280% more than they paid pharmacies. The state demanded refunds. Class action lawsuits followed. Patients in 8 states filed fraud complaints alleging systematic price manipulation and unjust enrichment. A Harvard study published April 2026 found PBMs added zero clinical value, no better health outcomes, just higher costs. Employers started dropping PBM contracts, self-insuring and negotiating directly with pharmacies, cutting out the middleman entirely. And when they did, drug costs dropped by an average of 42% overnight. Same drugs, same pharmacies, no PBM. The FTC lawsuit is ongoing. Discovery phase. Thousands of internal documents being subpoenaed. Executives will testify under oath. Legal experts say if the FTC wins, it could dismantle the entire PBM industry structure as we know it. Congress is watching bipartisan bills introduced to ban PBM spread pricing. Force transparency. Cap fees at cost plus 5%. But here's what you need to know right now. Today, this isn't over. You're still paying these fees. Every prescription you filled this month probably had a PBM fee you never saw. Buried in the price, check your insurance card, see who your PBM is. CVS Caremark, Express Scripts, OptumRx. You're in the system. Ask your pharmacist for the cash price. Not the insurance price. Sometimes it's cheaper to pay without insurance. Because PBMs negotiate such high list prices, the uninsured cash discount can beat your copay. Let that sink in. Employers are starting to audit their PBM contracts, demand transparency reports. Some are finding millions in hidden fees. State reform is happening faster than federal. Oklahoma banned spread pricing. Ohio requires PBM licensure and audits. But the big three still process 79% of all American prescriptions. The machine is still running. $100 billion. That's roughly $350 per American per year in fees you never agreed to. Families are still rationing insulin. Cancer patients still skipping doses because a middleman needed another vacation home. The FTC lawsuit won't bring back the patients who died cutting pills in half, but it might save the next one. So the next time someone asks why healthcare is broken in America, tell them about the invisible middlemen, the ones who got rich while you got sick.